Students, in our science lecture, we are learning our chapter number 10, that is respiration in organisms. Okay, so in our last lecture, we have learned about the way of breathing, how we take air inside our lungs and what is the path of that air, through which organ, which path it goes towards the lung, and what happened inside the lungs, that also we discuss. What happened actually inside the alveoli, that also we discussed. And again we have learned about the diaphragm. So in this today's topic, particularly we will learn the role of this diaphragm inside the chest cavity for the breathing process, and what will happen when we breathe, what will happen with the size of that chest cavity while breathing process. Okay, that we will discuss here. So that diaphragm is flexible, very flexible. It is a muscular part and again it is very flexible. So we will see here what happened actually with that diaphragm during the breathing process. In one diagram, inhalation is given and in another diagram exhalation is given. So we will see, while we breathe in, we take air inside through the nostril, that we have seen. Is through the nostril we take air, it goes through the trachea towards the lungs. But when we take the air, what happened at that time, at the same time? What happened? The diaphragm moves downward. That diaphragm moves downward. If the position of that diaphragm is like that, suppose now we are inhaling. Now we are inhaling. This is the inhalation. Inhalation process. In that inhalation process, suppose the diaphragm is in this position. So while inhalation, what happened? It moves towards the downside. It moves towards the downside, means like that shape it will get. It was the original position, previous position. It was the previous position of the diaphragm. That is the diaphragm. So diaphragm, and it is the initial position. But while inhalation, what happened? It goes towards the downward. It goes towards the downward. Why it goes towards the downward? Because we need more space while we are inhaling. यस, इनहेल करते मतलब एयर को अंदर लेना है. एयर को अंदर लेना है तो हमको जगह और ज़्यादा चाहिए, स्प्रेड होनी चाहिए ना. ये चेस्ट कैविटी क्या होनी चाहिए? फैलनी चाहिए, स्प्रेड होनी चाहिए. मतलब हमको कैविटी का जो एरिया है वो ज़्यादा चाहिए पहले से. सो फॉर दैट ये डायफ्राम जो है वो नीचे आ जाता है. द डायफ्राम गोज टुवर्ड्स द डाउन साइड, so that the cavity, the chest cavity, the area of chest cavity should increase. Okay, it should increase. That's why the diaphragm moves towards the downside. And what happened at the same time? The chest cavity, suppose initially it was like that, it will become in this manner. As that it will become in this manner, like that. Yes, suppose this is somehow like that, then after diaphragm moving downside, it will become more wider or more broad in size. Okay, it is not actual like that, very small difference is there in size, but still for understand I am telling you. Suppose initially it was like that, means narrow, then after inhalation we need more space for the air, for the storage of air, so that the diaphragm which was turned inner side, it moves towards the downside, and the space of that chest cavity will increase, and it will spread out. That cavity will spread out or become wider, okay, so that the more air we can store, okay. So this is the process of inhalation. While the inhalation, the diaphragm moves downside, okay, that is important. So in another case, in this case of exhalation, the process is reverse. The process is reverse totally. So we have to exhale the air. We have to exhale the air what we stored inside the chest cavity or lungs. Yes. So that we have to minimize the area, and we have to create more pressure inside the lungs, so that the air will push outside the lungs, okay. If the pressure of air inside the lungs will increase, then the air will goes from higher pressure to lower pressure as per rule, so that we should minimize the area. It should minimize the area. Here the area is maximized. Area is maximized for the storage of air. Now we don't need the carbon dioxide, so that we have to exhale that carbon dioxide, so that we have to minimize that chest cavity for creating the more pressure inside the lungs. So here in the process of exhalation, the chest cavity minimized its area. Yes, here we can see the difference. Here the area is increased and here the area is decreased, so that the diaphragm moves back, means moves upward. Here the diaphragm moves upward for minimize the area, Yes, here the area is minimized as the diaphragm moves upward, okay. So the area is minimized and the pressure is created more here, and so that as per rule, from more pressure the air will go from more pressure to lower pressure, okay. So the air will easily get exhaled from the lungs. So this is the important role of diaphragm what we discussed here. So what is the important here? In case of inhalation, the diaphragm moves downside for maximize the area of chest cavity, and for in case of exhalation, what happened? The diaphragm moves upper side as opposite to this inhalation process. It moves to upper side. Why? Because we have to minimize the area of chest cavity in the case of exhalation. Yes, here we can see. So this is the role of diaphragm and movement of diaphragm what we can see here. Okay. Now I hope you understood that. So read this topic from your textbook. It is also very important. You can understand this diagram also. Again, one activity is given that we will discuss. So student, for that I will ask one question to you, that sometimes you notice that, have you noticed that? Keep your hand on the abdominal portion, means on your stomach. So, and take a deep breath. And what happened? What will happen? Notice that while breathing, what happened? The size of chest cavity, we feel that it get increased. Yes. While inhalation, what happened? The chest cavity get increased. We feel that, we can feel that when we put our hand on the abdominal portion, we feel that our chest cavity get increased inside during the inhalation process. And opposite to that, what happened? During the exhalation, what happened? Our chest cavity again get minimized in area. That also we can notice, that also we can understand. Yes. So this activity we have to do for we have to do here for different students. We have to measure while inhalation what is the size of chest, and during the exhalation what is the size of chest, that you have to measure. A very small difference will be here, but definitely there will be the difference in the area of chest cavity. Means we can measure, the measurement will be more during the inhalation and the measurement will be the less during the exhalation, that we can understand. You can do that activity for different members, for the different classmates. You can make the list of the name of different children of your classmates. Again, you can measure during inhalation what is the size of the chest of that particular student, and during the exhalation again what will be the size of that particular student. And difference, what is the difference in size, means we have to minus exhalation and inhalation. From inhalation you have to minus exhalation, because in inhalation the size will be more. So that difference you should write here, and in this manner you can complete this activity. At home also you can do. You can do with your family members. With your family members also you can do this activity. Otherwise you can do with your classmates also. Okay. See here. Like that. You can measure. Take a deep breath and then measure. Measure the size of your chest. Yes. Like that. And again, in case of exhalation also you have to measure the size and make a difference. Yes, and write in the column. Okay. So this was that activity that we have discussed here. Again, you have to read that portion also from your textbook. Okay. I hope you understood this topic also. Thank you.
So students, in this part we will see the actual mechanism of breathing process which happen inside the thoracic cavity. So inside the thoracic cavity, how the movement of diaphragm affect on the size of thoracic cavity, that we will observe through this animated video of mechanism of breathing. So in this video, in this breathing process, how the diaphragm, movement of diaphragm affect on the size of thoracic cavity. So we will see in the process of inhalation, we need more space for the storage of air. Yes, we have to store air inside the lungs during the inhalation, because during the inhalation we breathe in air inside the lungs, so that the size should increase. So diaphragm is flexible in nature, so that diaphragm goes downside, and as it goes downside, the cavity, the thoracic cavity get increased in size. So in inhalation process, the thoracic cavity will get increased in size because the diaphragm goes downward. In opposite, we can say, beside that, in the process of exhalation, unlike the inhalation, what happen? The diaphragm goes upper side. As the diaphragm goes upper side, what happen? The thoracic cavity will minimize in size, because during the exhalation we have to breathe out the air from the lungs. We have to breathe out the air from the lungs, so that the size should be minimized, so that as the diaphragm goes upper side, so the size of thoracic cavity automatically get decreased is it get minimized, so that the air from the lungs go outside during the exhalation. So these two processes are unlike, and the movement of diaphragm is also unlike of each other. So we will watch here. So see, at first we are seeing the rib cage. Inside the rib cage, two lungs are present, and at the bottom of these lungs the diaphragm is, we can see red color diaphragm, and it continuously moving. As it go downside, the size of thoracic cavity get increased here. Now it goes upper side. Now the size is minimized. Now maximized. Again it get minimized, and it is controlled by the movement of diaphragm. Again we can observe from the back side. See here, continuously the movement of diaphragm controls the size of thoracic cavity. It get maximized during the inhalation, it get minimized during the exhalation. See, so it's very important and very interesting. From this we can understand how the diaphragm moves. So that's it. I hope you understood that.